Welcome back to the Blue Horizon Diving channel. Now, for our regular viewers and subscribers who've been following around our ventures for the last couple of years, you'll know me and Holly have been living in South East Queensland, Australia for the last couple of years. Now, over those last couple of years, we get to dive a famous shipwreck, one of the most popular shipwrecks in Australia, the Ex HMAS Brisbane Shipwreck. It's an ex-Royal Australian Navy guided missile destroyer which was sunk in 2005. It's a truly spectacular wreck. Now I'm going to run some footage of this beautiful wreck. As we're moving around just now, you can see the beautiful stacks coming up, the bow guns, and also moving around into the control room. She's a beautiful shipwreck. Now, it was sunk in 2005. The top of the wreck sits in about 4.5 metres and the bottom sits in about 27 metres, around about 95 feet for our subscribers in America. Now, for everyone in America, we all know, and especially the Caribbean, we all know about hurricanes. Now, in South East Queensland, we don't get many hurricanes. In the Southern Hemisphere, we call them cyclones. And we had the first one hit South East Queensland for over 50 years. A Cat 4 as well. First time ever make landfall in 50 years, which brought waves of up to 11 metres. Now, this beautiful shipwreck, I'll tag some videos at the end of the video so you can check out of what the wreck used to look like. However, the wreck has now been redesigned. It's had some, should we say, structural changes occur to it. So the most popular shipwreck in Australia is now being redesigned, and we're going to jump in and go explore and see what it looks like and show you what the power of the ocean can truly do. It is honestly staggering. If this is your first time channel, my name is Mark Wynn, PADI course director and tech diver. We share adventures all around the world and lead dive groups all over the trip, with next week heading to Vanuatu and the following week to Fiji. So check them out on our website, but also make your next dive on that subscribe button. And without further ado, let's jump in and go see what a cyclone can really do to an ex-Royal Australian Navy guided missile destroyer. You're not going to want to miss out this one. Let's go. As we're dropping down on the Ex HMAS Brisbane Shipwreck, you start noticing some really significant changes. For regular divers to the wreck, you'll notice straight away that something is missing. And if you look very closely, just in the distance, you're going to see it. There is the bow stack. This part of the superstructure has been completely ripped away from the shipwreck and dumped in the sand in 27 metres. Now, the top of the stack used to sit in 4.5 metres. It now sits in around about 15 metres. It is honestly, truly incredible to think this whole section has been just picked up by the ocean during Cyclone Alfred, ripped off the wreck and dumped perfectly in the sand. Now you look around here, you can see just behind the bow gun the outline of where it used to be. This is the kitchen and galley, the control room, captain's quarter and the bow stack completely removed and dumped into the sand next door. It almost looks like a little tender on the side of the warship now, just sitting next to it looking like a little boat docking. Now, there's some really cool side scan images that were done of the wreck during part of the external surveys, and I'm going to show them just here as we're moving along the wreck here. It really gives a really cool dimension of what's happened. Now, with their external surveys, what they had to do is they had to inspect the wreck. So unfortunately, for a period of time, the wreck was closed for diving while this work was carried out. Once this was complete, there was some remedial work that had to be done where they removed loose and sharp metals, also potential hazards and entanglements. So that got cleaned away, removed to make it safe for divers to return to the wreck. As you can see, I'm pointing to where the stack used to be and where it is now. Pretty cool, we've got a new area to explore of the wreck, of the site. Something different. Having done about 500 dives in this wreck now, it was very eerie to see just honestly the true force of the ocean to move this. Before, we used to do one external dive on the outside of the wreck, followed by an internal penetration for the second dive. Unfortunately, at the moment, we cannot do a second dive inside the shipwreck. So what we do at the moment is 2 external dives. because what's going to happen now with marine parks, they're going to start the internal inspections to see if it's safe to return the inside. And then once their surveys have been complete, there will then be internal remedial work done to make it safe, ensure the structural integrity of the wreck for divers to return. But that's okay, because interim we get to do 2 dives on the outside and the marine life is everywhere still on the wreck. There's life covering every section of this wreck. We still have Barney, the turtle. We also have diamond fish, barracuda, big schools of fish everywhere, plus eagle rays. So the wreck is still so worthwhile to check out and explore. For everyone who's dived this wreck before, definitely come out and explore to see what it looks like now. It is truly a new redesign of the Ex HMAS Brisbane Shipwreck. Even behind the stern gurn, I showed footage earlier where this deck was all remaining. Even during the storm, the deck has even collapsed in as well, which is why we still have to do the internal inspections to make sure it's safe before we can return to the inside. But again, it just shows the true force of the ocean and Mother Nature. We really hope you've enjoyed coming out and exploring the redesigned Ex HMAS Brisbane, seeing what it looks now, but still seeing there's lots of life, especially with all this butterbream still hanging around the stacks, this time only the stern stack. As always, thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next dive.